Hi there. I'm here today to explain why art education has to be a priority for Salem Keizer's elementary schools, especially with the goals we have right now at this pivotal moment with funding coming in, extra funding coming in, especially geared towards traditionally marginalized populations and equity. So, what are the reasons why we need to teach art to kids in elementary? It leads to great creative skills and success. Why else do we need to teach art to kids in elementary? Well, it leads to better school engagement. Why else do we have to teach art to kids in elementary? Well, it also leads to great social emotional outcomes. So, let me start with creative skills and the success that leads to. So I want to show you the 8 studio habits of mind. This is what gets taught in a visual art classroom when a highly qualified art teacher is doing the teaching. These are referred to as the habits of mind because these are also the components of creative thinking. These are what LinkedIn cites, creative thinking, is what LinkedIn cites in a 2019 study of all job skills, all the soft skills that companies want. Creativity came in at the top. So they need it for success after school. But that doesn't mean we just wait until high school to teach them creative thinking skills. Instead, it has to happen earlier. It has to happen from kindergarten. And here's why. I have another piece I want to show you. Take that away. Oops, I took away the wrong thing. That's okay. There. George Land did a creativity test. He developed it and gave it to NASA scientists. Well, then he gave it to kindergartners. This test tested creative thinking skills, specifically divergent thinking skills. Those kindergartners scored at the genius level in terms of divergent thinking skills. I'm writing this down. Divergent thinking skills. These are the creative thinking abilities that come with connecting disparate ideas in your brain. Genius level are kindergartners. So by the time they got to 15 years old, they only had 12% genius level thinking skills. And by the time they were in their 20s, guess what? It was down to 2%. We need to be hanging on to our creative thinking skills as we move through our educational years, not losing them. So it's really important that we get art back in our elementary schools. Let's see. Did I say everything I need to say about that? Yes. So that's why we need art, because it teaches creative thinking skills, and that leads to success throughout their entire lives. So what about school engagement? School engagement is the next piece. Why we need art in our elementary schools. School, when it's just math and writing and reading, is pure drudgery. The legislation for the Student Success Act promises a well-rounded education for all Oregon students. And that means in elementary school, we need to be teaching them art. Attendance is a big issue in Salem Keizer Public Schools. When students don't attend school, they end up with low graduation rates. And I say we lost those kids in kindergarten. Let's make it possible for them to think of school as a joy, as a place where there's more than just one thing, that everyone has a chance to succeed. Art is also about connecting. When students take art, they can connect with themselves, they can connect with others, they connect with culture, they also connect with their school. They'll feel a sense of belonging at school. In art making, we can also break barriers down between language and abilities. So art has the potential to be part of a well-rounded education and make kids feel like school is more than just that pure drudgery. They can be engaged and they belong. The last why that I want to cover today is social emotional outcomes. Making art is, as you can see from this image, it's a happy place. It's a place for joy. Students who practice art, the act of actually making, has been known and has been proven to increase cortisol levels in the brain. That means they're less stressed. It reduces stress. Behavior problems will get reduced if stress in our kids who are experiencing trauma gets reduced. The other thing is that art is a way for students to feel successful and confident. It's a way for students to express themselves. These are important outcomes, and these are the reasons why art needs to be taught in our schools. So to recap, art education matters, and we need to ask our school district to get all students in K-5 schools high quality, equitable, weekly art education that is taught by certified professionals. Do you agree with me? Tell her. This is Christy Perry. She's the superintendent of schools. This is her email, and this is her phone number. Thanks. I'll make another video soon that explains why art meets and will benefit all the goals of the student investment account that Salem's about to get.